Okay, so in this tutorial we're going to look at using a JPEG floor plan to create a home in SketchUp. Alright, let's have a look at, first of all I just want to file, import and find my JPEG. This is one I downloaded from the Prefabulous website, and it comes in like this, and you can see I might just try and maybe snap it to the origin there on the corner to start with. Alright, and then, it's going to ask me to place it. So I've clicked once on the origin, and now I'll just drag it out any size to start with, and I'll just click and place. Alright, so let's have a look. Alright, so with this, the next step is to scale this JPEG so we get it to the right size. What I'm going to do is maybe do a top-down view, and then I'm going to pick my largest dimension on the JPEG. So let's have a look. We've got 14150 there. Alright, so that looks like it's it. I'm going to get my tape measure tool. T for tape measure for shortcut. And I'm going to zoom in on the first point. Now I'm just going to zoom in and place it on the other end. And as soon as I click, I'm going to type in the dimension 14150 in this case for me. Hit enter, and it asks me, do I want to resize the model? And I do. Yes. Alright, so it's changed the size of my JPEG. Now what we can do is just confirm that this has actually worked for us. So I'll just go into one of my dimensions. So this is saying 3500 from there to here. If I can see it's written there, it's looking very, very good. It's saying 3500 to 0.1 millimeters. So I'm happy with that scale. It has worked. And now we can start to use our sketching tools to model this up. All right, so you can take the same approach regardless of whether you're doing this house or a different house. We're just going to look at trying to create this floor plan using our sketching tools. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hold off grouping anything, and I'm just going to sketch using my lines, rectangles and offsets, and use my move and copy tool as well, I expect. So to start with, what I'm going to do is zoom in on this corner here, and I might just go R for rectangle. Let me just, there we go. And I want to maybe do the outside borders of these two, if you like, two prefab units that are joined together to make one home. So just by eye, I'm going to go and sketch that. So I've done my rectangle. Now the next thing I'm going to do on that rectangle is probably use my offset tool. Now let's have a look. Where is it? Over here, offset. If I click once on here and I do 90, enter, that's given me what looks to me like a wall thickness. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do is hide this surface here that's in the middle. So hide, and then I can see what's underneath. To get that back, we can always go edit and unhide all, and that'll bring it back, or unhide last. So next thing I'm going to do is do the same as what I just did here to this one over here. I'll just pause and do that. Okay, so I've done the second one, and I'm just going to hit hide on that one as well. And next, I'm going to work my way around, and I might, in order to do this, I'm going to have to hide this surface as well. Let me just get rid of the offset tool, and I'll click on that surface there and hide that, so then I can see my lines that I need to see. I'll do the same over here. All right, so I'm going to go around, I'm going to draw in my door and window locations. I'm not worried about anything internal at the moment, just focused on these two borders that we're going to be working on. So, all right, so I'm going to zoom in on this one here and go with my line tool, and just by eye put one in. Now I'm just going to try it with my move tool and just try something out here. So if I click on this line, maybe I'll go for the midpoint. If I hit Control, it leaves the original, and then I can drive this to be a certain distance. So what I'm interested in is by eye, what is this distance here? Down the bottom, 906. Okay, so maybe I'll just drive it to be 900. Enter. Okay, and I'm just going to go OK on that warning. So all my standard exterior doors, I'm just going to do as 900. Now if I just keep working my way around the model, and I'll, whoops, just go back to top-down view. All right, and I'll just do one more. Now this is looks like a window or a large window. Go line. Now for doors, I'll keep them standard 900 wide. I'll just go OK every time that pops up. And for things like this, where it's a window, I'm just going to go by eye and place it into suit by eye. So the doors are the only standard thing I'm doing here. All right, I'm just going to work my way around both of these models and come back. Okay, so as I mentioned, the doors were the only standard size that I did here. I've gone around this one and I've gone around this one and I've drawn my lines in just using the line tool. It is worth noting the exterior doors are 900, but the interior ones, I've done these at 820, which is a pretty standard door size for interior doors. So it is common that your exterior doors will be larger. My exterior ones here and here will be 900 and any interior ones are 820. Just, to give you an idea of a snapshot, again, how I got this line over to here. Let's say, for example, I'll just delete a couple of these lines that I did. Like that one there and there. And I went move, grab this one, Control, leaves the original, and then drive it with 820 enter. I kept on going OK on all those warnings, that's fine, okay. Control, and then drive it to 820. All right, so all my exterior geometry on both of these have been done. Next, I'm going to work away at my interior geometry. All right, so for this, I'm going to start to have a look at some of these dimensions here. So we've got 3,500, and what I'm going to do is try and use some existing geometry to help me with this. So I'm going to click on this one, and using my Control to leave the original, bring it over here, just to get a bit of an eye. It's so 3,500 was the dimension, so I'll put that in. Okay, and that looks pretty good to me. Now again, I can just drag this one across, Control, keep the original, and make it 90 mil thick. So my wall thickness is standard 90 mil throughout the whole build. And then if I look at this dimension of the study here, we've got 2,100, 2,100, and we'll move this across and Control, keep the original. All right, and then again, move, Control, 90, enter. All right, so I'm going to work my way through the rest of these down here, and then I'll do the same for maybe these walls over here. So I've used that method to do all my vertical lines in this one, and then I started up this end and I used the dimensions up here to create my vertical internal walls geometry in that direction as well. So I've got all my vertical lines. Now I'm going to start to do my internal wall horizontal lines. So let's have a look at that. We might end up with some excess geometry that we're going to end up deleting, kind of like this bit here, but we'll worry about that afterwards. So if I go in here, I can see a dimension there, 2,100. It looks like 2130, so let's give that a go. If I click on that, oops, what I might do is go with this line here. Oops. Control 2130, and let's put that one up here, yep, and then that one, control 90. Okay. Now, same with here, maybe I'll go Right, so we're starting to get some geometry going here. Yes, it doesn't go all the way to the end, but I can use my line tool to snap to that. All right, so let's have a look. Got those two. Let's do that extra line. Now, looking at this end here, has that got a dimension? Let's try and find out. Okay, so there's some cases where there just is not a dimension on the drawing, so I'm just going to go by eye here, use my existing geometry there. You can see the red dotted line. All right. Okay, and then now using my move tool, control, and the internal doors I said were 820. All right, that looks pretty good. Line. Okay. So similar here. I'm just going to use that line there to go across. And then this one, I don't think there is a dimension on where that sits here. So I'm just going to have to go by eye on that one. Same here. All right, so down here, we do have this one over here. All right, no dimension on that. I do like to keep everything standard where you can, so I'm just going to move this one 90, and then use my line tool across here. And then again, control, and I said 900 for exterior doors. And that looks like it's done about right. Okay, so this is looking pretty good. Now I can work my way through and go, well, what are the lines? Okay, here I see a slight issue. Line, I'm going to draw one there. Okay, so now I can say, what are the lines I want to get rid of? And I've gone through on this particular side and I've got rid of all the lines I needed to. And leaving, like, for example, these lines in here, I'm happy to separate and leave those in that are along the exterior wall. So now this side is looking okay. I'm going to go ahead and do the same to this side in my next tutorial.